Yeah. It's those things go forward and back, right?
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The first item of business is to approve the minutes of the September 25th, the September 25th School Bond Advisory Board special meeting.
So move.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Please vote. Nope. Well, it's not working. Okay. It's not working. Okay. Everybody could show their approval by raising your hands. Aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Item number 3 on the agenda is to receive our Independent School District number 89, 2007 and 2016 school bond issue financial information.
Madam Vice Chair, we have the financial information in its usual form in your packet. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer those.
Are there any questions?
we have another one? Oh, gotcha.
Any questions, concerns? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve or receive the expenditures, financial. Second? Please vote by raising your hand. All right, motion approved. Item number 4 is to approve the School Bond Advisory Board 2019 meeting schedule.
Right, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We are required to file this with the city clerk, the schedule for the year's meetings, and that's what we have before you.
So move.
Motion approved. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, motion is approved. Item number 5 is to recommend to the City Council is to approve the change order number 5 for Cesar Chavez Elementary Classrooms and Gymnasium addition to a decrease in expenditures of $1,450, and to accept the project and place the maintenance bond into effect for project ES0083.
This is a project that was accomplished with excess Maps for Kids funds, and we're very proud to bring this to you today for final acceptance. We have Justin Mitchell here from MA+, and we'd like to run through and just show you how this project turned out. So we'd like to invite him to the podium.
Hi, I'm Justin Mitchell with MA+. I was the architect in charge of the Cesar Chavez Gymnasium and Classroom Addition, and I'm going to run you through what we did with the excess bond funds that Mr. Todd was talking about. As I kind of run you through this, I'm going to do it very briefly. If you have any questions, you can hold them to the end or interrupt me. No problems there. I'm going to briefly run you through a couple of the plans, then run you through the exterior of the building, the interior, some of the extra work we did as part of change orders to do some maintenance to the existing school, and then talk about where the final costs came at. This is a site plan of the school. Our addition is in yellow in the lower southeast corner of the school. The existing school was built in 2011. It did not include a gym as part of this. And as part of this project, we did a 4-classroom addition and a gym storm shelter addition in that southeast corner. And so as you kind of look at that southeast corner when we did the addition, there's a corridor that runs through the middle of the plan, and everything to the bottom of the slide is the gymnasium storm shelter, and everything to the top of the slide is the classroom additions. It's a 2-story addition. And then as we kind of walk through the exterior, this is the existing location where we did our addition. It ties on to the end of the stairs. As you kind of look at these slides, there'll be a key plan to kind of orient you against that site plan. If you have any questions, just stop me. So as we went through initial schematic design, we came up with an initial design, and then we produced renderings. Then we went through and actually made those renderings a reality. So if you look in the upper corner, you'll see one of our initial schematic renderings for the addition of the school on that end. And then if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see our addition as it sits as of yesterday. Then as we kind of walk around our addition towards the south, you can kind of see our rendering in the upper corner, and then how it materialized in the bottom corner. And then as we continue our way around the school, again, you can see in the upper corner the initial vision and then the reality of the exterior. And so now it's important to talk about the interior of the building. As we approach the school, the existing stairwell just ended in a window. We took the opportunity to use that window to actually open up and create our corridor for the school. As part of the school's identity, it was very important that they had quotes from Cesar Chavez posted throughout the addition. You can kind of see to the side there on the right-hand side some of the things we did in the corridors of our new addition to kind of bring some of that school pride and some of the quotes. As part of that addition, to the north side, we did a 4-classroom, 2-story addition. These classrooms were for pre-K, kindergarten, 4th grade, and then there was a special arts integration black box classroom as part of that. You can see that most of the feel of the school is picked up inside the classrooms, and then that one in the lower right is a total black room for arts integration. It allows the kids to explore with arts, do music, do choir, do drama, things like that. Then we go to the south side and our gym. As you can see, we did an initial rendering up in the upper corner of the school with ideas of quotes, a lot of color, a lot of play. And then as we worked through the design of this, you can see the lower image is kind of the reality. The good part about this, doing a gym addition as a storm shelter, is we're able to house in excess of the whole school population right now. I believe the school population as we know it is 800 students. And just in this gym space alone, not the associated spaces inside the storm shelter, we're able to house 925 people. Now that we were pretty fortunate in the funding of this project and were able to make some repairs along the way. We had some alternates to the existing cafeteria. The school had created makeshift sound dampening inside the space. It was created as a cafeteria, eating space, and gymnasium originally in the program, and they had taken styrofoam and basically stapled and glued it to the walls because the space was so hard and it echoes. We were able to go through and install sound panels as part of that. So you can see the original school up to the top, and it's kind of hard to see, but there are white styrofoam panels stapled to the wall, and then you can see the acoustic treatments we added to the walls of the existing cafeteria. Then while we were in construction, it was noted that every time it rained, the playground would flood and pond just like this, making a really big mess for the school and for the students. As we worked our way through the project and saw that there weren't a lot of changes that would come through during construction, we were actually able to do some surface drainage on this to kind of help that. So, and you can see kind of today, the playground is taking kind of a new effect. They can use it when it's raining. It really helped clean everything up. So here's the big question. Our budget for this project was $3.4 million, utilized out of additional bond funds. On bid day, we came in at $2.459 million, so we were pretty well under budget. Then we've had a little over 2% in change orders throughout the project. I'm going to note that change order 1 and 2 were for repairs to the existing school and total more than 80% of that change order amount that we've done. That leaves our final cost at $2,509,762.08, so well under the $3.4 million. And with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything.
I think it looks fantastic, and I really like the color and everything that you've used, and the quotes from Cesar Chavez, and the fact that it's way under budget, even better. So,
Yeah,
thank
we
you
wanted
so
to be
much.
very good stewards with the money, knowing that it was not an allocated project.
Any other questions from?
You have asked a question that I can't remember the answer to, but all those gyms, you look at it, and, they're fantastic. And I know just adding, I've always looked at, gosh, I wish we could add those bleachers, seating bleachers, so we could actually, run some games or run some things and have the community in there cheering on or something like that, but it looks pretty tight that I don't think it's possible in this one.
Well, we looked at that in the beginning of the project and looked at what the cost would be. And at that time, with the bid environment, we tended to hedge a little bit more towards being conservative in doing that to make sure that we could fulfill the project. But yes, I think seats would be nice in any of these gyms.
Yeah, it's a good program a little bit more.
It was also what we worked out with the district, though. They see those as classrooms, physical education classrooms rather than a competition gymnasium. That's why, that's a lot of the reason why they were done that way.
I'm thinking about police athletic league, and those groups can program those
Yeah.
after schools and weekend programs, and there's that park right down the street from there that they'll probably be utilizing them for. So it's like, God, they need those indoor gyms for the protection from the lovely weather in Oklahoma. But, it is what it is. I understand there's a dramatic difference in the cost when you add, another 10 feet on each side.
Yeah, with the storm shelter, for sure.
I understand that. It's just like, it's just a wish. Yeah. Anyway, you just increase the usage opportunities of it.
Does the community use that school and has that used the school in the past if there has been a tornado come through to seek shelter in any way?
I do not know that, but I do know that they use that gymnasium daily after school for a very active Boys and Girls Club. So, I mean, the community is getting some use out of that as part of the Boys and Girls Club partnership with the school, but I don't know that people would show up. Typically, that happens after hours, and the school would be closed unless it was a daytime event. So anybody that would come to the doors would find a locked door at this point because there would be nobody in the school.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions? All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the recommendation to City Council? Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Our voters aren't working, Pete. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item number 6, recommend approval to City Council for the final plans and specifications for Capitol Hill High School and Spiegel Stadium roadway, parking lot, and storm sewer reconstruction, project ES0085.
This is also a project that we're able to fund with excess Maps for Kids money, and we've put together and been working on this for quite a while, and today we have Lydia Leslie here from Kimley Horn, the firm that did the plans, to give you a presentation on what the plans consist of.
Thank you. So like David said, this is for the roadway project in the parking lot and the storm sewer reconstruction around the school and the Spiegel Stadium. Today I'll be talking to you about our scope of work, the existing conditions, talking to you about some specifics on the details on the construction, the budget, the project schedule, and then available to answer any questions. The existing roadway, especially on the west side, is in very bad condition. If you've been out there, the potholes seem to grow. Last I was there, there was some repair had been done by the school system trying to fill it in with gravel, and it's all been washed away, and there's even more potholes, and the potholes are very large. So to be able to mill and overlay that asphalt pavement is just not a viable option. So we're looking at taking out the existing pavement and putting new pavement back in. The roadway is also narrow, more narrow than a typical residential roadway. So we'll be widening that roadway to a 26-foot width. The infrastructure in the roadway system is the storm sewers are older, and they do have some capacity, but they don't have the capacity for the entire school system area. So we'll be adding storm sewer to this. And as you see in the pictures, the inlets are old concrete styles, and those are no longer utilized, so we'll be updating those as well. This shows our scope of work. And the blue shows the entire roadway that will be extended from Walker Avenue to Grand Avenue, and like I said, that'll be a 26-foot wide roadway. We also intend to do some on-street parking that will facilitate the softball and the baseball fields, as there's currently no parking over there. We'll also be doing the south parking lot area. That's one parking lot that has not been revitalized in the past, and so we'll be removing some asphalt there that also contains a large amount of potholes and resurfacing that area. With this project, we'll be adding a bus lane drop-off as well. So more about the on-street parking. With this project, we'll be adding 52 spaces and 3 ADA spaces. And like I said, there'll be connections along the sidewalk area, so the users of specifically the softball and the baseball fields will have advantage of this area. And then the south parking lot area, we'll be removing those existing spaces. We'll be able to put in 86 spaces and 4 ADA spaces. There are already some ADA spaces along the tennis court area there to the south. 10 spaces are included there, so a total of 100 spaces will be brought with this project. The bus lane drop-off. The existing bus lane had the capacity for around 4 buses. So what we propose in this process is to add another lane for an additional area for bus drop-off. So we'll be having additional sidewalk through there for the kids and just vitalize that area. So there'll be room for 8 buses. So our proposed drainage system, like I said, it was a little bit undersized for this area. So we're proposing in the red line, we'll be putting new storm sewer in, and it'll tap into the existing storm sewer line that runs over to the east to Walker Avenue. We'll also be adding an additional storm sewer line to pick up the majority of the campus on the north side in that yellow line. It'll also tap into the existing line on Walker Avenue. We just have some alternates planned for this project. One of them is to reconfigure a storm sewer with the Senior Wellness Center. A detention pond was constructed, and the outlet of that pond outlets onto the Senior Wellness Center parking lot. And as you see in slide 2, it's creating a little problems because it's a lot of silt and water is running through that parking lot. So while we're out there, if the bids come in a reasonable fashion, this would be an alternate that would be included to take that pipe and reconnect it to our storm sewer system that we're doing for this project. And that was not available at the beginning of this project. So, that wasn't an option at the beginning because we're now adding more storm sewer systems to the project. Alternate 2 will be adding additional sidewalk around the baseball fields and connecting that area to the campus. Currently, the school students walk on the north side mainly to get from the campus to the baseball fields and that softball field area. So this will be connecting those areas. And the construction phasing is a critical part of the school project. This will be done during the school year, so making sure that the bus route is kept intact and that the students have availability to parking and teachers have availability to parking is a crucial part. So what we propose is for phase 1 to begin sometime in February, mid-February, and for the construction to proceed for that area to remove the pavement in that area, replace the pavement in that area, and also start with our new construction of our storm sewer in the downstream fashion to the west. So that would be completed by May for graduation. And I understand there's going to be 8 graduation ceremonies in this facility. So we want to make sure that during that time the contractors would not be working and it would all be accessible to the patrons. After graduation, we'd proceed on with phase 2. And during that time, we would close that area totally and then remove all the pavement and replace it. And then in phase 3, we'd finish up in that area on the north side of the roadway. This kind of gives you a little bit more understanding of our schedule on a timeline. Like I said, phase 1 would begin February, end by the time graduation, and then we would start phase 2 after graduation, end in August, and then in September, that phase 3. So phase 2 would be open into football season. So our project budget is $2,205,000, and our base bid includes that entire fee. The alternate 1 is approximately $17,000, and alternate 2 is $50,000. So with that, if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
I do. Can you go to your first overheads view? I think it's the 5th, that one right there. What would there be, I think there would be advantage if you made the on-street parking come all the way down towards home plate of the, isn't that the softball field?
That's baseball.
Baseball? The
Baseball.
softball's on the further west side, right?
And that was considered, but due to the project budget that we had, I mean, we felt like this was an optimal placement and a number of parking spaces to facilitate
It's
that.
52, right?
52 spaces. I mean, there is room in the future to possibly to increase that, but due to the budget constraints, and like I said, we wanted to utilize that main center aisle for the traffic that is already there from the campus to the softball fields.
Mr. Ellis, if we get a low bid, and we've still got some more money, we can add that, continue to extend parking on down through there.
Well, it sure would make sense. I mean, that's prime parking spot.
Park is further south to the baseball.
And then,
And they just pop the curb, park it.
But it's been my experience, having a kid who played ball, nobody wants to park there when there's baseball because you get your windshield knocked out.
I agree with that. I would agree with that, but during a football game or a graduation, very well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my next question is on the bus lane drop-off.
Yes.
Is that wide enough to where it could be for a double usage, and I mean that for before after-school bus drop-off, what it's named for, but during the graduation or ball games, have that into additional parking?
And that is something to consider. I assume people will probably park there regardless during baseball time or football time when it's after hours and utilized. I anticipate people will probably park there. And there won't be signs to say not to park there except for the bus drop-off signs. So during the school time, I mean, it'll be utilized, like you said, for the bus drop-offs. But after hours, I anticipate people would probably park there.
The other thing that you're not seeing in this is Lydia's company under a separate project is doing a traffic flow, traffic management plan, and trying to maximize the parking area in that, or the amount of parking in that area, like the old tennis court and then that teacher's parking lot. If you start making that a lot wider, it starts killing some of those parking spots that are going to be in there, some of the things we're looking at. So there's going to be a considerable amount of parking that's added, assuming that the other plan is approved.
Okay, which is just north of the bus drop-off and under the tag.
Right, there's parking that will be reconfigured in there, and then we're also looking at the lawn that's directly east of the main building.
Okay.
Because what we're trying to do with the second project that you'll see in the future is get all that queuing off of Grand that happens every morning and every afternoon, sometimes all the way across there, all 3 lanes. So we're trying to get to stop that and then also provide a secured access, and the best secured access so far in the report has been on the east side so that we don't damage the front of the exterior. Then when I say damage, by changing it.
So that parking lot that the teachers use, the one that's just north of the bus lane drop-off, is that being repaved as well?
It's looking at being reconfigured and reconstructed, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a tennis court currently, or an old tennis court kind of park.
Right.
Yeah, that one's north.
Right, but the parking lot just north of the bus drop-off now, it's very wide, so we'll be not repaving it, but we'll be restriping it at this time.
Is that one in good shape? I mean, I think I remember some potholes and
It's
stuff in there.
not.
It's not in the best shape, but I mean, it's not as in disrepair as as like the one that we're replacing. No, I mean, they all probably could utilize some sort of treatments, but that one is,
Yeah, look, I just kind of remember seeing those potholes in there too.
I don't recall.
Thank goodness we're getting another part. I have a squeak still in my truck that's I blank for this road.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thrilled about this, believe me. Yeah, that area that we're kind of talking about north of the bus drop line. I don't know if that's something we can add to it, if we got some extra, but look at that. I mean, might as well finish it, We're so close. You have all new parking everywhere.
Well, this is something that's really been almost a dream for the last several years for me, to see this turn into a real campus. And this is great. One of the things you need to consider when we talk about another phase of it is I've been advised that Variety is moving their operation out of those portable buildings into the wellness center this week. And then they intend to, as soon as they can decide which school to relocate to, they intend to relocate those portable buildings, and that'll just leave a big vacant space there where all that is. At least I think the planning ought to consider that, because that's...
We have been in discussions with some of those, and I believe Mr. McLaughlin is even looking at some, is it volleyball court, basketball court?
They talk about futsal and basketball court.
Yeah, so some of those things, so those are all in play that we're looking at, and we've got a lot of people in conversations about this stuff.
The whole idea of it coming together as a campus is just, it probably, all the high schools in the city, this, with what we have on the drawing board and the things that are immediately coming, it will make more of a campus out of Capitol Hill than any other place. We got so many different, and it's a real synergistic operation, if you will. The parks are involved, the schools involved, the city's involved. It's been a really good project.
Pete, I think it's a good lesson that if you get things up to speed, kind of along the lines of all other suburban schools especially, I think the principal tell you that prior to doing the stadium and all the work in the exterior and kind of the fencing and all those things being fixed, they were down maybe 150-ish enrollment. I think now they're closer to 1,400, and he really gives a lot of credit to people that applied for up this again, back to your dream, it's kind of been a rebirth, and so they really appreciate that. So that's why I decided to finish these streets and then really address that little north area, fixing that, and then, maybe some access points. The other thing I noticed in the Senior Wellness Center that I thought they did a really nice job on was those, I don't know what you call them, little planting areas there with trees and such. Little, what do you
The islands. Mhm.
The little islands at the
Islands, yeah, palm islands, yeah. Those little islands, and I don't know if those islands the current islands that have been there for many years are pretty overgrown, and we've actually tried to kill some stuff out of there, and it came all back again. It's been there a while. So is that addressed in the new repaving? Will those be refreshed and maybe match what the Senior Wellness Center looks like?
So let me address that. So to the north of the Wellness Center where the bus lane drop off, there's those funky islands there that had some old crepe myrtles. I mean, those will be demolished. So we're putting a new sidewalk, and there will not be any landscaping right there. We're putting some landscaping to the north of that parking lot. There'll be some trees added there. And then the purple lot there, yes, will match the islands that are in that area.
That's exciting.
Any other comments or questions from the board? All right, then I am happy to entertain a motion for approval. Second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item number 7, thank you so much. We really appreciate your presentation. Item number 7 is the consent docket in the amount of $691,604.25. Items A through A1. Subject to individual consideration, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent docket. I have a second. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Any comments from board, staff, concerned citizens? Yes.
My one comment is, I want to, I brought this up before, but go back and reiterate the possibility of looking at one school that did not get a gym, and that's Belle Isle Enterprise School. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay as a school for as long as we can foresee. But they never got a gymnasium, and I would like to for somebody to go in and see if we have any funds in any past bonds to look at putting a gym in there. Thanks.
Is there any way we could get a list of all of the elementary schools that currently do not have a gym and what their enrollment looks like? And
Yeah, I'll see what I can find out with district staff.
perfect.
I think all the elementary schools do have them.
That's what I was going to say, but I don't know for sure.
And middle schools, all middle schools should as well. I thought it was elementary and middle.
Gary, do you know?
as elementary schools go, I think Westwood Elementary is the only elementary school that we have that does not have a gym. And I think all the others do. But I have to go back and research. That one I know for sure.
Middle schools do not?
Most all the middle schools do. I mean, they were designed, most of them were designed for a small gym and a large gym, both in them. I don't know, just off the top of my head, if all of them do or not, though.
I think you're right, I think most of them do, that's what I'm just looking at.
Yeah,
So we think it's just Belle Isle and Westwood?
yeah. And Belle Isle doesn't have a gym at all there? Okay.
They call it a gym,
I-
it's a little old auditorium with a little,
I remember, yeah, I remember now.
there's
Okay.
no basketball gym.
Right.
Tile ceiling.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Any concerned citizens that would like to make comment? No? What about you, young sir? Do you have any comments, questions, concerns? No? How'd we do? We do okay? All right. Sounds good. All right. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Concludes my half of the report.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Coronado, and I am a Ward 4 representative. I attend Classen High School, Classen School of Advanced Studies, and I will be giving